Friends, this story is about two men who were frozen many years ago, but one day when they were taken out, they came to know that all the men have been wiped out from the world. There are only women everywhere and these women have nothing to do with them. In the middle, only these two men are left, so the story begins from the year 1991. Here we see a press conference which was taking place about the first human hibernation of the century, and in it voluntarily Max and Albert. There we see a professor, we see the person who made this machine. Then the professor tells everyone that our experiment has been successful. We kept this chimpanzee in that chamber for 6 months and the age of this chimpanzee has not increased at all. On top of that, he has become completely weak. Max is also healthy, so the professor now wants to use humans for his next experiment, for which Max and Albert wanted to go inside that machine. The professor says that this time I want to put these three in the machine for 3 years, but the work was extremely risky because the human body, the body of a chimpanzee is very different from that of a human, so there can be difficulties in doing this work. But even after all this, Max and Albert were ready to go into that machine. Then the machine was switched on and Max and Albert were put inside the machine. It is put in. Now slowly time passes and 50 years pass by. Then the machine is opened and Max and Albert are taken out. As soon as they come out, we see that both of them have not aged a bit. The age at which these two went inside the machine is still the same. Now they were hungry, so 3 girls brought food for them. These two had not eaten anything for so many years, so these two started eating. They had even forgotten the taste. Further, Max says that I had hidden a bottle of liquor and some cigarettes inside the machine and now the time has come to take them out. After which he takes out all the stuff and both of them light a cigarette and smoke it there itself. But as soon as the smoke spreads, alarms start ringing everywhere and everyone starts to feel that something is wrong here. But 2 women come and start extinguishing the fire. After a while, a woman named Dr. Blood comes there and tells them that the professor is dead now. Both of them are shocked to hear this. Dr. Blood says that there was a great war here and something happened in that war, that all the men were killed on the earth. Now only women are left on the earth and you people also survived because you were inside this machine. Now on hearing this, both of them, he gets furious and starts running away from here, but as soon as he touches the outside door, he gets a strong electric shock and falls down. Albert further starts thinking about this and says to Max that, brother, everything is fine. Something is right. We were inside the machine for 50 years. That is why we are feeling like this. Max says that, brother, you are saying absolutely right. If there are no men on this earth, then how is our generation moving forward? On the other hand, their talks, Dr. Blood was listening to this and then she replies to them that here babies are made by machines. Now on hearing this, both of them became even more, they get very surprised. On the other side, another Dr. Maria comes to Dr. Blood and tells him that you should talk to other doctors about your research. You cannot do research on these two secretly like this. On the other hand, we see Max and Albert in whose room a TV suddenly turns on and a little girl is speaking something in it. Now after seeing this, Max understands that the children who are being born with the help of test tubes. Now Max gets sad on hearing this and says, how can these people do this to children? Albert says that a lot has changed in the last 50 years. Nowadays these women do not need to be intimate to get pregnant. There is no need for that, after which both of them start drinking and get emotional. Then the next morning, as soon as they open their eyes, they see Dr. Blood in front of them and she asks them, how are you both feeling? Max says that right now everything is fine, but if you would have become intimate with me then it would have been more fun. Now on hearing this, Dr. Blood gets angry and picks him up and throws him down. Seeing all this, Albert says to Max that, brother, these women don't know anything about being intimate, so don't talk to them in such a way. Then after a while, Dr. Blood, she brings some guards with her and starts telling them that radiation has spread all over the world and if any person goes out, he dies due to radiation. She tells that we had an animal which died due to radiation. Due to which both of them go and start checking all the animals and then their leader comes there. Seeing her, Max gets surprised and starts talking to her. He asks her about her age, but then the woman asks them, do you know how old you are? You both are 86 years old. But Max is not bothered by these things and he starts going to the leader. But then all the guards catch Max and start beating him. But then the leader from behind tells them to leave him and then Max tells them that, why are you guys lying to us? What happened here and where did all the men go? Then the leader tells them that all this is the professor's fault. He made a machine which does not increase the age of men, but later the same machine took the lives of all those men. On hearing this, Albert says that how can this happen? We are still alive, and if you want, we both can help you. You can have a child by being intimate with us. But on hearing this, the leader gets angry. During this, her eyes fall on an apple tree on which 2 apples were hanging till a while ago, but these 2 donkeys plucked them and ate them. Now seeing this, the leader tells them that you know what happened in the Bible. It was because of these apples that all the ruckus happened, and you people want to start this ruckus again, after which the leader beats both of them like dogs and gets them locked in the room again. Now Max starts crying here because for the first time she was beaten up by a woman, but Albert tries to convince her that, brother, don't worry, we will soon get out of here, and I am confident that there is a world outside of here. On the other side we see Drive Blood, who is wondering what it is like to be intimate. Now to find out, she goes to the oldest woman and asks her that on what it is like to be intimate. The woman says that when 2 people love each other, they both enter inside each other, and this is called being intimate, and by doing this you can even have a child. She further says, she asks her that what are you people going to do with those 2, to which she says that we are going to make both of them women too. The old woman says that then this will be a bigger punishment than death for them. Further, those 2 men, they are caught and brought to the lab where they see that women are brainwashed there, and they are told all wrong things about men, how earlier men used to torture women. Later both of them are given 1 form each. They are given a letter to sign on which it is written that experiments will be conducted on the bodies of both of them, but on reading this they get angry. Both of them refuse to sign the form. Then after a while the ceiling above them opens where many women were sitting. Actually these women had come here to decide what should be done with these men, but on hearing this they both of them run away from there, and then on the way they see 2 women. On seeing them they pounce on them and start kissing them. All those women together decide that now they will experiment on these 2 men. On the other hand, both of them run down and see an underground passage with the help of which they both reach down further, and then as soon as they come out they find a liquor bottle lying there and a newspaper with it, in which it was written that in 1993 such an incident happened in which all the men were killed, but then some guards reached there to catch them. On seeing them they ran away from there and came out with the help of a tunnel. Then as soon as they came out they were shot there. A lot of women are seen who were partying. Actually the women were rebels and did not follow the rules of the leader. Now both of them were watching all this when the guards came there and caught both of them. Down below also all the women got scared after seeing the guards, and they start running away from there. Now taking advantage of this stampede, Max and Albert also dodge the guards and escape from there, but while running they reach a lift and there they see Dr. Blood. Seeing whom both of them they get scared, but then the doctor explains to them that if you go out then you will not survive, to which both of them say that do not make us fool. Then Dr. Blood brings both of them to a machine and makes them look outside through it. She says that then on looking through that machine, they come to know that there is devastation everywhere outside and no human can survive outside. Along with this, the doctor also shows them the radiation outside, how high the radiation level is outside and how dangerous it is. All the men had died because of radiation, but both of them don't believe him and say that we would prefer to go out and die, saying which they leave from there. Then Dr. Blood says that I cannot see you dying like this, saying which she calls the guards there. Then the guards come there and take them away from there. Now both of them start abusing Dr. Blood and say that you are a very selfish girl. Then 2 guards come to the doctor and tell her that you have been promoted, and they also tell her that these 2 men have been declared wanted and soon they will be operated upon and converted into girls, but before that the doctor needs your research because you have been with both of them the most, and it is on the basis of your research that these 2 will be converted into boys. Will be changed into women, but then we see that Dr. Blood did not like this thing anymore and she did not want both of them to be changed into women. And on the other hand we see Max and Albert who are taken to the lab, but then both of them start shouting that they would prefer to die rather than become women, but those women do not listen to anyone. And she starts taking Max inside. Meanwhile, Max sees his wife who tells him that when you went into hibernation, your child was in my womb, but you neither cared for me nor for your child. Saying which she was about to operate on him when Dr. Blood arrives there and saves both of them from there and starts running away. But because Albert was given an injection of anesthesia, he starts seeing scary visions and his condition worsens. As soon as she goes upstairs, she sees 2 guards there and Dr. Blood tells her to quickly take off her clothes and give them to these 2 men. Then both of them wear those clothes which are like radiation protection suits. After which she tries to take both of them out, but the main gate does not open. Doctor asks Blood Gate why it is not opening, to which both of them say that it has a password which only our leader knows now. Seeing this, Max gets angry and starts abusing them, but then suddenly she sees that the door has opened, which means the password of the door was galley. Now the doctor did not want to send both of them out alone, so she decided that she would also go with them, after which she also wore a suit to protect them from radiation, and all three of them went upstairs. After going upstairs, they see that there is devastation everywhere and everything is ruined, but as Max moves forward, he collides with a curtain, after which he takes out a knife and cuts that curtain. Everyone comes out of that curtain and sees that everything is normal outside, and whatever they were seeing till now was all a drama. Then these people start roaming around, and during which they see a beach, looking at which they become very happy, but after a while their oxygen level starts decreasing. But then Max takes off his suit and sees that there is no radiation here. In fact, the leader was fooling them and doing this with them. The rest of the women were also convinced by her words. Then after moving a little further, they saw a big house and they went inside that house. They go to a place where they get a lot of food. After a while, Emma comes there and tells them that they are under arrest. But during this time, the oxygen in her suit starts running out and she falls unconscious right there. She falls down and Albert picks her up and takes her inside the house and starts taking off her suit, but as soon as Emma opens her eyes she starts shouting at Albert, and during this she accidentally presses the remote, and then they get to know that the leader has spread the rumor everywhere that Dr. Blood has died. After which two women are shown there, and it is said that these two are Max and Albert, who have been turned into women through an operation. And now these people, while they were watching all this, they suddenly realize that someone is coming from outside and they quickly hide. Meanwhile, the leader arrives there and then they realize that this house belongs to their leader, but then leader sees the state of her house and realizes that there is someone else in the house. As soon as she opens the cupboard, Max and Albert catch her, and then they come to know that their leader is not a woman but a man. Now seeing this, both of them are surprised and ask him that what do you want and why are you doing all this. Then that man tells his whole truth, that 20 years ago I was the only man left on this earth, but all of them were after me to become a girl. So I put on makeup and became a girl and started living with them. After some time I was made the leader here. Then Max and Albert asks him, why did you not tell those women that there is no radiation outside? To this the leader replies that earlier there was a lot of radiation here, but slowly the radiation started to decrease, but I did not have the courage to tell them everything. To tell you the truth, because all those women are of the sun. After this Max and Dr. Blood start getting intimate together, and Albert and Emma also start getting attracted to them. Then the next day they both reach the lab where babies are made. After which they add a token of their love to their formula, so that the next time these babies are made, if this happens, all the children born are males. Then after a few years, when children are born, one of them is a male. During this, when a nurse sees that boy, she starts screaming loudly. And friends, this story ends here. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe.